Hi, Elliot here from LA Photo Party with a second video on customising unique URLs for PPU. In the first video, we looked at using the built-in options within Event Manager for this customisation. In this video, I'll be showing you how to take this a step further and make more changes to the look of your microsite as per this example. Here you can see I've removed the rounded corners, changed the background colour in the box, changed the text colour, and also changed the footer bar to add a custom link and remove the default grey. For this, we'll be using an external HTML editor. In this case, I'll be using Dreamweaver CC. Okay, let's take a look at how to accomplish these changes. First thing is, as before in Event Manager, we need to make sure the Remove PPU branding is checked. If we scroll down to the bottom of the page, you will see there is an option to enable Custom HTML Template, and if we check this box, a text filter entering your code will appear. There is also a yellow box with information about this feature to the right, including a link for the sample custom HTML code, which is what is used for the default template in PPU. We'll go right ahead and click that link, which opens up a new window. This is all the code that's needed to edit the standard site, so we'll select all and copy it to the clipboard. Back in Event Manager, there is also a link with all the available tags. Again, this will open up a new window, and this explains what each tag does and also has the important code and scripts needed for creating your own templates. We will look at this more in part 3 of this series. But for the moment, we don't really need that, so we'll close that window and head over to Dreamweaver. Okay, in Dreamweaver, let's create a new HTML document and we'll paste in the code on our clipboard. From here, if we switch over to design mode, you can see something that should be familiar. And if I go into live mode, it should really ring a bell as it's the same things what we started with at the beginning of part 1 of these videos. Okay, we go back to the code mode and we'll scroll to the top. It's vital that we don't edit any of the code within this section, as this is needed for the fancy box when you click on the images and also for the video player, as well as a couple of other bits. The code that we'll be editing are the styles, and these are what tell the web browsers how to display the page and what colours to use, etc. The first thing I'm going to edit is the thumbnail sizes. I like to keep them at a 3:2 ratio so that vertical images will be the same height as horizontal images. Next, I'm going to make a slight adjustment to the margins of the box to drop it down from the top of the page slightly. I'm just going to change the default 0 to 50 pixels, making sure that the auto is left there, as this is what controls it being centered horizontally on the page. If we go back to the web browser and take a look at our sample page, you can see that in this example there is more of the background shown above the box compared to the default site. Back with the code, I'm going to leave the width and the height as they are, but I will change the border to match the logo more by making it thinner and also changing the colour to the yellow used in the logo. I found the colour by using the colour dropper in Photoshop. As I don't want curved corners, I'll simply delete the following lines and then we can have a preview in design mode. Okay, that looks fine. So the next thing we'll change is the header section that houses the header text. Here I want to make the background the same brown colour as the logo. So just as before, I swap out the white that's in there already for my brown. Then let's take a quick look. As I want this section to be solid and not opaque, I'll delete the next couple of lines. Next change will be to the text in the header section that has the paragraph attribute I spoke about in the first video. Here I change the colour of it from black to white. We'll make a similar change for the content area, swapping out the background colour again for brown. The content area is where the thumbnails get displayed. Currently this is using an RGBA colour, but we'll just change that to a hexadecimal value using the pound symbol or hashtag as it's now known. The next 4 sections control the link for the images and the videos to open the fancy box, so again, don't delete these. We'll make the same changes to both the footer styles as we did with the header, as we want these to appear the same. The next section is the footer bar. This line of code tells browsers to display an image from this link. In the default case, this is the grey. We will delete this and also the next line, as that's telling it to repeat the image horizontally. What we'll do instead is add a background colour, and in this instance I will use an RGBA value as I want to have some opacity to the colour. That way the background can be seen through it. Just make sure there are no spaces between the numbers and letters. The next section is the power by text, as you can see here. So I'll just change that to white. The power name is the link text. I want this to be brown for all states of the link. You can, if you wish, have a different colour depending if you are hovering or if you have already visited the page. What I will do though is add the bold font weight so it stands out a bit more. Also, I'll leave the underline in the hover state too, so there's a change when rolled over. And that's all we need to change for the styles. So let's have a look at the rest of the code. This section here is a script that controls the fancy box and the download link, so again, don't edit any of this. As we scroll down, you can see the tags that will have their content generated by PPU when the users share their pictures. The last thing to change on here is the link in the footer bar. Let's change the name here. This section in blue is the site that the text will link to and where you would put your own website or your client's website. Let's take a quick look, and as you can see, the link underlines when hovered. Also, the text isn't white, but the actual generated text will be, as long as it has that paragraph attribute. So the next thing to do is to grab the edited code by selecting all and copy to the clipboard. In Event Manager, we can paste that code into the custom HTML field. A quick note on Add This buttons. You will need to add a couple of things from Add This to get your custom buttons you may have set up. First step is to paste the sharing toolbox code from your profile in Add This into this field. And then add your tracking code starting with RA to the tracking code field, and your button should display correctly and track the shares. In this example, I've yet to add the images, so as in the previous video, I'll add the header image, again at 940 pixels by 200, but this time I'm using a PNG file with some transparency. You may have noticed too that in my header text, the link I have is a different colour to the main text. This can be edited by selecting the link and by clicking the link button, and then under the Advanced tab, adding a style to the link. In this case, I'm using the red from the logo and also telling it to have no text decoration, so there will be no underline. I also need to upload the background image. This is the same image I used before, the 250 by 250 pixel grass. And again, this needs to be tiled to fill the entire background. Once we've made the changes, click Next, save it and accept the terms. Then send yourself a test email. Click the link in the sent email and you'll be able to preview all your changes with the sample images and the text and images entered in Event Manager. It is always wise to also load the event in Help on your PC and test your settings with your own images and videos by sharing in PPU. Don't forget, PPU gives you 10 free uploads per event to test your settings before you get billed. This is a great way to test your settings and to make sure any changes made are working. As you can see, the changes needed in the HTML code are fairly simple, but if you're unfamiliar with styles and HTML, there are plenty of great resources online for free. Join me in the final part of this series to see how you can use the HTML tags and scripts within your own templates and pages to create some fully custom sites such as these, and also how to completely white label the URL.